What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I am in North Carolina. Oh, long story short, I'm in North Carolina looking at some property and also getting some paperwork done. So, I have to talk to you guys about Wow Monday stories. Why Wow Monday stories? Because I was watching, and when you come in, hey, drop a like, drop your city and state, help your girl out. Listen, you guys know the boat party's coming up August 3rd and 4th. Don't forget to get your tickets. That'll be in the descriptions, be in links. Don't forget you'll get your tickets, okay? It's in Austin, Texas. Number two, if you are lucky enough to be in Los Angeles July 9th, I'm telling y'all, hit up. I think we have 4 tickets left or 5 tickets. 4 tickets left for the 10-person mastermind. I think we have 4 tickets left. Mastermind in Los Angeles in the midday on a Tuesday. Listen, all kind of gems gonna be given out. All right. Then July 13th, I'll be with your girl, Rashana Scott, out of Chicago. Miss Flippin' in Hills on a bus tour. We're gonna be getting off and on the bus, seeing some rental properties, seeing some construction, all kind of good stuff, and a meetup afterwards. It's going to be lit. Okay. Then July 14th. I don't know if I'm still gonna go or not, but it's gonna be a party on a yacht. Real estate, investing, conversations, a yacht. It's going to be fun in Chicago. Next, man, what's my other one? Next, before all that, June 29th, which is pretty much not this weekend, but the next weekend, we'll be in Baltimore, Maryland with Aisha Selden, multimillionaire, owning tons of property in Philly. She's actually renovating a 13-unit apartment or 13-unit building in Philly right now. Don't miss out on that. So look, all those will be in the links below. All those will be in the emails. If you've been getting on the email list, you should have seen some of these items up there posted. If you've been watching the blog, man, you should have some of these off the Classy Climb blog, theclassyclimb.com. So look, Wild Monday stories. Now, I had been in the airport chilling. I was in the airport and I was wasting time up on Facebook, and this lady posted this article. And there's several videos you're going to hear me talk about this because I've been recording all weekend because I've been mad about it. And essentially, the lady was a single mom, probably a divorced mom. She didn't left that out conveniently in the article. She was a divorced mom who was complaining she couldn't afford Disneyland. She couldn't afford vacations. You know, she's middle class and she's stressed. She can't afford doctor's appointments and all this stuff. And here's the funny thing. The lady who posted it was like, what are y'all thoughts? And everybody was like, she's not middle class. Everybody was like, she sounds like a single mom who's struggling, who doesn't make a lot of money. And the lady who initially posted it was mad. You could tell she was mad. That's not the answer she wanted. She wanted us all to be like, yeah, poor mom, you know, middle class are squeezed. And everybody was like, nah, bro, you're not middle class. And so I started putting actual numbers up there because people love doing, I'm middle class because I went to college. I'm middle class because I live over here. Or where I'm from in nowhere, Ohio is this. And no, 40K to 125K. That's not accurate. I put in there 85K to 125K. That's real middle class. Lady, of course, gets mad like, where are you finding the links for that? The documents for that? The facts for that? I'm like, ma'am, inflation has taken out rent and food. So those are your biggest expenses at all, right? So then I start pulling out government numbers. Where HUD, now, does everybody understand what HUD housing is? Let me know if you don't know what HUD housing is. Please let me know, mention in the links. Long story short, I got the qualifications for HUD. I was like, look, if you make 40K in California, it's called extreme poverty. Family of 4. If you make 40K in some other states, it's still considered low income and you qualify for a HUD. And she just could not. She's like, I just don't know where you're getting these numbers from. So then she found a chart. This was the funniest part. She found a chart, and I'll definitely do this later in the week. I'll do a video where you guys can see this chart and everything. And it showed like people making 40 to 60 were low income middle class, which really should be you are working class. We just don't use that word in America. And the middle was, of course, middle, and then the upper was upper. And I just want to tell her, I'm like, ma'am, you are sitting here fighting with me, arguing with me, because honestly, I think she was probably a person who only made 60K a year. Her husband, and her family probably only made 60K a year. She just could not get her head wrapped around the fact that I didn't include 40K as middle class. Let's be honest. If 19,000 in certain states is poverty and qualifies for food stamps and emergency assistance, what is 40K? You doubled your income, but what is 40K? After taxes, you right there. You're right there in poverty. It's poverty. Now, I know people are struggling out there. I know 75 million Americans. How dare the lights go out? I know 75 million Americans make like 30 something a year, 30,500 a year. But here's the problem with that. Just because that's the national average, or everyone you know is making that doesn't make it middle class. That still makes it working class. Now, here's the true definitions. Working class is if you quit working, you don't have money to cover yourself for 6 months. Middle class started out with if you had 6 months of money to cover your expenses, your bills, your medical, your everything. So what would that have required to do? Have a 401k, have rental properties, have investments. Do you know how many people I know right now sitting at home with their kids in Austin because they got 2 rentals? Now, many people say, well, just 2? Yeah, they got 2 houses that pay $1,400 per house. And you may not think it's that much, but listen, when you have a family that has real low expenses, they got a paid off car, their expenses are real low, their wife cook at home every day, they can live real cheap. So when people tell me, oh, we struggling to pay for dentists and medical and everything, we're just struggling, I'm like, you're not middle class. Like you fighting so hard against this. Ooh, look at all this light. Against this against this actual title, because you don't want the title. And I get that you don't want that title, but you're not middle class. Now, something even more traumatic today. I listen to BGS Igmore. I listen here and there. I'm very protective of my energy. Now, what do I mean I'm very protective of my energy? What does that mean? I am a big believer that if you listen every day to somebody say America is doomed and no one's getting married and everybody's having kids out of wedlock, it's just a bloody battlefield out here, you'll start to believe that. You'll start to absorb that. I've actually talked to several men out at different little happy hour events who I made a comment to, like O'Shea Jackson, Duke Jackson. It's like, you watch that. Oh my God. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people are watching these things and they are, oh wow, see, look, someone said up to 100,000 you get food stamps in New York. See what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So a lot of people are watching these things, right? And not saying it, but it gets in your subconscious. So if every day I tell you, you only make 40K, but you middle class, and the middle class is being squeezed, instead of saying, hey, hun, you're working class. And until you get some investments, you'll stay working class for the rest of your life. Now, I even had this one girl try to call it the artisan class. Now, I may be messing up the name. She called it aristocrat. She called it a couple different things. But essentially, it's people who have investments and they do a lot of leisure. Or she called them the leisure class, right? So originally, what was slavery? Slavery was for a lot of Southerners to be leisure class. People working for them in the fields in the hot, hot sun. They didn't have to do that themselves. Somebody else was working for them. Leisure class, okay? And nah, this is a Jeep Cherokee. This bad boy battery is hardcore. Okay. But the point of what I'm trying to say is people have been misidentifying themselves for years. They keep thinking they're something they're not. And so you don't know the house is on fire if you're upstairs on the second floor. If the fire's on the first floor and you're on the second floor, like, it smells funny, but I'm fine. No, you're not. Now, here is the point of what I was saying. I watch BGS Igmore's channel today. And again, I do small doses because I'm very protective of my energy. I'm very protective of what I listen to when I'm in money-making mode, when I'm investing. I try to stay away from negative energy stuff. Kind of like that, right? Thank you, Al. I had a little facial 2 days ago. But he was talking about a woman who was 18 years old, y'all. This is the part that makes me sad. 18 years old, living in a homeless shelter. And I shared it in the community. Yeah, I'm telling you. People think that all the time. Thank you, Jamari Doggett, for the $2 super chat. 18-year-old homeless woman living in a shelter. Her gay lesbian girlfriend is 21 in another shelter with her family. So this is 2 sets of homeless families. Now, first off, I'm going to finish the story, but I'm going to get back to that. 2 homeless families, okay? In New York City. The man, the sperminator. There's a white man. He's very fertile. His name is called, let's just call him a sperminator because that's what they call him. And he's been consistently giving women donations of sperm, right? Donations of sperm. And people have been getting pregnant. left and right, pregnant left and right. So women who have trouble having babies, a lot of times someone were nurses or really busy working women near 40, they would get sperm from him in weird places, and they would get pregnant. Now, it's over. He's at 50. This is the 50th woman, okay? Only 5 of the 50 women have tried to sue him for child support. Because 9 times out of 10, it's written down on paper. It's understood. It's like, look, you're going to get this sperm. You get pregnant. You're on your own. Now, think about this. This man is in the New York area. So if you're coming to him in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, I know one lady came all the way from Pennsylvania or something like that to get this sperm, or meet him somewhere and get this sperm. Like even one lady's in Thailand, one lady's somewhere else. And let's be honest, these people, and yes, yeah, I think he is married to a black lady. And so he's doing this. Sorry, I'm about to be grossed out. But anyway, he's doing this, and, all these moms kind of collect themselves together, and they have baby showers. So they threw this 18-year-old girl a baby shower. Now, when he said he did not realize how old she was because she contacted him a year before. Now, what does that mean, a year before? That means she was 17. And she's been in a homeless shelter for 2 years. Now, here's the crazy part. Yes, he is Jewish. That's the funny part. Her father was reached for her interview. Her father was at the baby shower. Now, her father lived in Georgia, and her mother and her other sibling are homeless in a homeless shelter for more than 3 years at this point. Almost 3 years. 2 years and a half. Every bit of red flag in this story hit me in my stomach. This was a story of extreme poverty. Now, I don't want our society to think this story happens all the time. Women out here getting pregnant so they can have apartments. Now, I have heard of some more people locally who did tell me they know some girls who moms told them to get pregnant at 18 so they could have their own place and get out of hers in government housing. But if you look around government housing and you think that you listen to your mom and you actually did that, honey, you got more mental health problems than getting pregnant ever will be a problem. Okay? First of all, every bit of that story, every bit of it, there's so many parts in it that are red flags. If your father is alive and has a house and has housing in Georgia, why are you not living with him? Okay? 2, if you have your mom and brother and you are in a homeless shelter, then you have your girlfriend's mom and her other son is in a homeless shelter. Why can't your 2 families get together and get enough money for an apartment in New York? $1,800. So you're telling me there's not $1,800, $2,000 between all of y'all to live in a place to live? Okay? Something's already off about this, honey. Something's already off about this. Okay? So even if she does, let's just hypothesize, she gets pregnant and she gets money for housing. Okay, she's going to get housing, but guess what? All those families are going to follow her. So these are people who are professional victims gaming the system. Now, every bit of this story, I was saying in the comments, I was like, she could have joined the military. She was 18. Okay, but then she didn't have her high school diploma. They're waiting on it to come in the summer because she missed a class or 2. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, sweet lady. Leave New York City. If y'all are in a shelter, your father is in Georgia, go to Georgia. You and your girlfriend and both of your families leave New York City and go to Georgia and get in a house and pay $1,000 rent for a whole house. And if people in Georgia be like, isn't that cheap, Erica? Yes, it is. I can go on Realtor.com. I can go on Craigslist.com. I can go all over the internet right now and find $1,000 place to live in Atlanta, Georgia. Please do not lie to me. 2K, that might be all they get in New York. But this is my point. If people are out here trying to scam the system that way, come on, man. Now, let me tell you, listen, I'm not going to lie. I live in luxury apartments in Austin, Texas. Everybody who lives there is either building a home, and they only stay there like 4 to 5 months. I've talked to so many families. I'll see you all like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Talking to them, but nice, whatever. They gone 5 months later. Yeah, girl, our house is built. Bye. And I'll be like, damn. And then I'll talk to other people. I know they're not going nowhere. They got a brand new house. They got a brand new car and they got a luxury apartment and they're never leaving. Not for years. And I was talking to this one couple. I realized I used to think my neighbors were rude. Kind of find out the mama was blind in one eye and deaf. The son was partially deaf. The father was deaf. So they met somewhere in some deaf school, they said. Then the daughter had one blind eye and deaf. And so they weren't rude. They just really could not hear us. Okay. And they have like a little Ring doorbell and everything. Guess what I saw out there, y'all? I saw them with take a guess. Take a guess what I saw them with, you guys. Just take a guess. I mean, I'm going to crank this car because it's a little hot in the south here. Tell me what y'all think I saw them with. I know it's a 30-second delay, but go ahead and tell me what you think I saw them with. Christian Anderson. Yes, recruiters would have helped her get a GED and a sign-on bonus. A BMW, a new car. Yes, I saw them with a new car. And guess what? The next month they were evicted. Next month they were evicted. And they had, listen, yes, they did, Rhonda. They had 2 flat screens when they were moving. I saw it. They were moving everything in HEB bags and moving. And the daughter got a brand new car. Now, first of all, the reason I'm concerned is because every single one of them have vision and hearing problems. And guess what? The daughter rolls up in a car with some man. I don't know if that was her boyfriend, but he looked like one of those black men that was going to help that family move that day. And all I could think of is you guys all, and it's a 2-bedroom apartments. So you got mom and dad in here, deaf brother, half deaf brother that works, and you in here with your eyes and your ears bad. Now, all between all y'all, I know y'all at least get $600 a month per person per disability checks. That's bare minimum. I'm saying bare minimum because the daddy worked. I don't know where he was working, but he would get up every day. He'd be like, he'd do a couple hours and come back with his little button-up polo shirt on. I don't know where he was working. He was working somewhere. So you telling me between the 4 of y'all, which is about $2,400, y'all can't keep a $1,600 apartment? Luxury apartment? And so I wanted to talk to them, but I didn't because I thought maybe they're moving to a house. And so they didn't pay their rent. And so they took that money and they're moving to a house. I had hoped that. I really did hope that. But I doubt it. And now you got an eviction. Texas is one of the hardest. Let me tell you something. If y'all ever want to move to Texas, please don't come to our state with evictions. You will almost 99% be completely shut out of every marketplace. The only places you will live are very dangerous, or all the neighbors are Hispanic and don't speak English and they throw up barbecues every weekend, or you will live out in the country. That's it. That's it. Period. That's it. And y'all think I'm joking when I say this. Y'all think I'm being dramatic. I worked in the apartment industry where literally we were turning down engineers making $10,000 a month because they had an eviction from 5 years ago. And the guys would be like, I make $10K a month. I got money. I'm putting, we'd pay 2 months deposit. 2-3 months deposit, y'all. And people would be coming from California like, I thought Texas was cheaper. Yeah, it is. Some places. Not all. And they know they can. The reason Austin, Texas and other cities know they can do it is because 157 people moving there a day. Every hotel you see in Austin is almost full of people living in them for like almost 6 months to a year. Trying to, no lie, get 2 and 3 months worth of 2 and 3 months worth of deposit. Yeah, there's a thing called second chance apartments, but they are not luxury. Yeah, the only way, there's a little trick, and I didn't tell you this, don't say Erica told you this, but if you go to a brand new apartment complex that's just brand new getting built, you can go and get in there for pretty cheap without extra deposits because 9 times out of 10, this is what happens. As you fill up the apartment unit with leases and no evictions, the apartment complex gets the more money from construction loan to finish out the buildings. So, like, I've had people, no lie, when I went to the apartment, we had somebody we wanted to evict them, but we knew if we evicted them, it would mess up the numbers, and our boss would come down and like scream at us. So we evicted them, but we gave them a payment plan. And everybody was like, I ain't never heard of that. I said, yeah, we doing it because if we try to go through the courts or we send it to collections, it'll pop up on the bank's radar, because then the bank will say, well, we're not going to give you any more money on this construction loan because you can't even keep the units you do have full. It's like you're falsifying paperwork. Okay? So, this is happening in Charlotte and Raleigh too. This is happening also in some parts of Dallas. Trust me. This is not just Austin. This is like statewide. Like I know agents and I know realtors. Like there's websites right now. If you Google Dallas, Texas second chance apartments, it'll pop up. Google Second Chance Apartments Houston. It's a big problem because what happens is people leave their home state sometimes in like desperate situations. Like they just break leases, pack a car and go. Like I've had people contact me on this channel where they literally leave and they literally say, Erica, I took a bus to get to Austin. And all I got is 2 bags and I got a little studio weekly stay. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They'd be like, oh, I'm going to get a job. I'm just going to work. I'm going to start over here. And I'm like, you can't start over like that, boo. So look, why did I bring up those very sad, wild, crazy ass stories? Because people who are in the buffer classes, right? And what do I mean buffer classes? Like I know personally, spend time with, eat lunch with, vacation with millionaires. And when you see them, I know Glenn and Cameron, some people say, oh, millionaires aren't flashy like that. Now they're flashy with their residence, but not always their cars. Because sometimes the people in real estate, they go into certain neighborhoods and they don't want to stand out. It happens. But there are buffer classes. Thank you, Steep Technologies, for the $2 super chat. There are buffer classes that have no clue what other people are going through. So when I saw a BGS's thing today, I almost threw up, y'all. When I hear some of his other stories, I'm like absolutely surprised. Because I consistently, honestly, circle and surround myself with events and people and places that are going somewhere. Now, I've actually talked to a lot of people, and people will say, well, yeah, I got a family member too that's like that. Oh, I got a family member too. There's this man I know, he's always promoting being married and having kids in marriage. Every one of his sisters have kids out of wedlock. So I'm like, you preaching this on the internet, but your family is not living this. And he's completely removed himself from his family and lives in a whole other city in another state to stay away from them and their foolishness. Now, when you see him and his wife, you go, man, they rich. They doing great. But then when you actually look at the external family, so this is the same. Now I'm being careful here. I'm stepping on some toes real quick. It's the same when I see black men or white men say, you got to be in shape. And their family sitting around looking like 400-pound hogs. I've seen it. Now, I get it. You want to have a life that's about fitness. But your kids are going to inherit them genes. So don't sit out here on the internet and tell people they better be super in shape when your family is not. I'm just saying. Okay, don't get mad at me. I just had to say that because I've seen some people. Oh yeah, I mean, like, I hate the show 600 Pound Life. I refuse to watch it. I think it's you're watching a person die slowly, and it's actually very sad. I tell my friend AJ all the time, stop posting that. That shit's disgusting to your spirit. But if you look, the whole family suffers. It's not even a food disorder. There's something that has happened, and you'll even hear it. Someone will say, I was molested. And then you have other sisters in the family, and you're like, something had to happen to the whole family, because it's not just one sister that's overweight, it's 3 or 4. It's not just the mom and dad are big overweight hogs, the kids are hogs. You know what I mean? And it's codependency too. There's no guy behind my window because he will get pewed. Okay? Same thing with I saw a mother and I got the door locked, but I was like, let me get this fire out. Give me the firepower out, okay? But there was a mother and son, and the mom was like, she needed to be on some kind of surgery. And she was overfeeding the son, saying, he's losing weight too fast. Your son was 600, 700 pounds and just lost 300 pounds. He needs this or he'll die. And that's how crazy it is, y'all. That's how crazy it is. So money and all these things, it's in the mind. You know how many people I talk to who are couples and they both making $8K a month and they out here flossing to their best life and like, oh, I want my wife to come home and stay with the kids. You can't. You're flossing to your best life. And so, nobody, did you ever sleep in your car? There was a couple nights that I did because my credit card didn't work. And then I called a friend and said, hey, pride has got me looking stupid. Okay, can I stay with you? I was about to buy an RV, y'all, in Texas. I was about to buy an RV and park it out at the RV park and live there. But I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. There's no reason for this. Like, I know too many people. I can call up anybody. I'm having a problem with my credit card, y'all. Help me out. And that became the turning point for, like, working these jobs, investing like crazy, investing on steroids, and actually seeing, like, that's not enough. One job's not enough. One income's not enough. I don't know them. All right. So anyway, True lent my friend $250. He makes $350K a year and was broke. Oh, people do payments to the limits, y'all. Let me see what y'all. Man, y'all got a lot of on here. I'm gonna go back and read your answers. I didn't mean to ignore you, but I was just doing this while I'm waiting on my mom to come out of here. Late night lounge, Landon, Milka, Hudley, Denver, Colorado, Dallas, Panama, Florida, Atlanta. Again, we'll be in Atlanta doing our VIP mastermind number 2 in Atlanta, Georgia, September 28th and 29th. So be on the lookout. Chicago, watching Chicago. I'll be in Chicago July 13th through the 17th. I will be doing some business, some events. So if you don't see me, sorry. If you don't see me, don't take it personal. I'm okay with that. Bus tour. Thank you, Doug, for posting. Hood is a job Ben Carson can't figure out how to do. Man, you know, that's when you give your friends a job. She said 100K can get you food stamps to NYC. That's bananas. Birmingham, Alabama. What's up, fam? Listen, man, there's a tour going down there looking at real estate coming up soon, Birmingham. So y'all may see some video out of there. Everybody making less than 70K is living check to check in the South. You know, here's the thing. I meet so many people like, oh, I live in the South and I make 50K a year. I'm doing good. I got this house. They be in the middle of nowhere in sticks. I got this car. You know, like the craziest thing down here where I'm from, a county below is called Robeson County. It's originally where my mom's born. First of her family born in the hospital. They have a lot of trailers with Mustangs out front. And you be like, now the damn dealership ought to be shamed selling y'all these cars. And y'all living in a trailer that's about to fall apart. It don't make no sense. Jamar Doggett, thank you for $2 super chat. Thank you, Lakeisha Allen, Austin, Texas. Yep, he's at 50. You know, here's the thing. It's like, Doug, here's my problem. I don't have a problem with them being lesbian couples. I don't have a problem with them being white, Asian, Hispanic, black, whoever. My problem is if a lot of times when you read the story, they can't afford. Listen, God bless me. I'm going to say something horrible and I want y'all to brace yourselves, okay? You may not like me after this. If you are in a situation you cannot afford adoption, which adoption isn't cheap, I know. And this is why I say I know I'm in a different class above most people, because I know like 7 people who have adopted, and adopting is like 20 to 60K per kid. And the little babies, when they're little babies, it's like 60K. It's crazy out here, right? And that's when you adopt them, right? And you go right to the hospital when the mama has them and then boom in your hand. Like you're not adopting a 2, 3, 4-year-old. You're talking about a fresh baby in your hands. Like 60K. 30 to 60K usually. And I know like 7 people who've adopted and like 5 more friends who are going to adopt. And this is how I know I'm not in a I'm in an upper class, and we're almost oblivious because all the friends are in tech and they're like, I can't understand why people are poor, and they all have businesses and they like couldn't understand why financially I was having a hard time. They just couldn't understand. Erica, what are you doing? Why are you working so much? That's crazy. Get you some investments. You know what I mean? And so now when I have all these trucks and I have rentals, they're like, okay, good. But if these couples can't adopt, one, then these couples cannot get IV, because IV is closer to 20. I'm not gonna lie to y'all on the numbers because I don't know them for certain, but I do know 3 couples who've done it. You're gonna spend money between needles and doctor's appointments. Like, you're gonna spend money. You're gonna spend at least 20 per kid having them via that way. So you're telling me these ladies can't afford 20, they can't afford 60, they can't afford the doctor's appointments, but they want a baby? Something's wrong there in that story. And there is, you know, people say, well, Erica, there's a book called Bait and Switch, and there's a book about poor mothers. I forgot what it's called. But Bait and Switch will start you off. It's her other book. If anybody Google Bait and Switch on Amazon and put her name in there, I might remember the name of the book. Long story short, social care workers were always asking the women, why did you get pregnant again? Like we helped you get a nice place and a job, and why did you get pregnant again? We have, you know, free birth control. And the women would always say, I know I'm poor, but I can be a great mom. What? Like every time the women would say the same thing in different ways, but basically, I'm a great mom. And a lot of times the social workers were like, but that's just it. You're in extreme poverty. You're in a shelter. You're in a homeless place. You're this or there. You cannot that's not a part of being a great mom. You can't be a great mom and be homeless, because you're not providing shelter and protection. And that right there, it just shook me to my core. Every time I read that book, and I just go, that's my first red flag, that the sperminator is giving sperm to women who clearly they can't afford IV, they can't afford adoption, or they won't even get approved. Because when you get adopted, baby, they also have to come to your house and do a house study, see how you live, if you got dogs, if you got cats, if you got other random people living in your house. Like, they come and do a house study. So these women they can't qualify for any of those, and yet they still think they want a baby. To me, that's nervous. That makes me nervous. Something about that don't sound right. You dig? So I think my mom's soon to wrap this up here, but that's bad. That's bad if you're already in a position where you clearly can't afford it. So then next, where he's meeting some of these women at is crazy. He's meeting them with fresh sperm at places and houses and like, it already sounds crazy. Then he's going overseas. Now, I get it. He's a tall man. Anybody in the thing know how tall sperminator is? I think he's 6'5", 6'4". Only, listen, 3% of men in the whole, in the United States are over 6'2". 3%. Now, it claims 14% are 6 foot tall, but let's be honest. In the black community, the average black man is 5'9". So these ladies are not only trying to guarantee that they get a tall daughter or a tall son, they're ensuring that they get a half Jewish tall son or daughter. And the funny thing is, there's actual Jewish nonprofits that actually pay your rent if you're behind. In Austin, we had a lady get in a car accident. She couldn't go to work. She didn't want to pull any more money for 401k. And the Jewish nonprofit paid her rent for 3 months. It was bananas. And it was the synagogue, the local synagogue. So I'm almost like, I don't know if these ladies are trying to game the system by having these Jewish babies and they make them tall or what. I don't know. But that already shows so many red flags economically. Like, that don't make sense. Now, I'm not saying only rich people should have kids. I'm not saying that. I know somebody's going to come back and say that. But don't something about those ladies sound off? Is it just me? I heard her talk. She sounds like she's off a rocker. Oh, man. If family member of mine was taught to have babies to collect a check, I'm in the Air Force right now. She could have had free housing and a check. I'm telling you. And this is my problem. She has this girlfriend that's 21, that's older than her, signing her up for this foolishness, okay? She could have had a check. You know what I mean? Like she could have went to the Air Force. Somebody out of this equation could have went and got benefits for all of them. Social safety net welfare. You can find a house to rent in GA. Recruiters could have helped her. Yep. Since the economy crashed 2009 to 2050, it's been hard for AWS, I would say. What else y'all got in here? Sorry, I'm moving it up. Somebody said, I live in a neighborhood turned Central America land, and they stole my car, laptop, watch, heart. Wow, goodness. Let me see what else y'all got in here. Thank you, Steep Technology, again for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Oh, and also the other end of what I was going to say. I know it's not right. But if these ladies are in their late 30s, going to late 40s, and they don't have they can't find a guy to get them pregnant, that makes me a little nervous too. Even, I know lesbian couples who know gay couples who would gladly help them get pregnant. I'm trying to say this in an appropriate way without getting flagged on YouTube here. Help them get pregnant. So you're saying that y'all are so isolated, y'all don't have anybody that would help you get pregnant, donate to you getting pregnant, and all the, just so many red flags. Dang, Hebrew. Okay, gotcha. Central Florida is growing in population. I work for a moving company and asked where most of them from. They're from North. Yeah, can't afford it anymore. RVs are work, but they can be rewarding. Yeah, at the time I thought it was cool. The house, expensive, fancy car, clothing, eating out. We had A big talk. Oof. It's not how much you make, it's how much you spend. Even millionaires live check to check. Yeah, some of them do. But they live cash flow. Was an email sent out for the Mastermind 2? Not yet, Stephanie. We haven't got the link yet. Dang, 3 months to pay you back $250? Yeah, he's struggling. That's Eastern North Carolina in a nutshell. Well, that's the crazy part. I'm from North Carolina, and I've been in Eastern North Carolina. A lot of places you're talking about are rural places, but even they know the drill. They know jump in the military or go do A, B, and C. Like, they all know, like, there's 15 different ways you can get out of them little rural towns without getting knocked up. You can become a truck driver, all kind of stuff. You better get off Robinson County. Hey, listen. Mama's from there, family's from there. My problem is I do not want to pay taxes for them, but you are. When you guys come to Birmingham, you need a ghetto tour guide. Let me know. I'll let you know. It's a group that are going. I think they found somebody, but I don't know. We'll see. Brother, I helped him manage his money. He got his older brother involved. The drama was real. The girlfriend left. Dang. Birthing children into poverty is not good. That's right. You're right. I know someone who owned an adoption agency. They lived in a rich life. Living hella rich life. Let me tell you something. Boy, let me tell you. Where is she at? She better hear him. Come on. That building. They living well. Let me tell you. If she don't come on out that building, I'm about to be hot with her. I feel like if you can't have kids, adopt. If you can't adopt, just let it go. All that other stuff is creepy. I'm telling you. You talking about Nickel and Dime. Nickel and Dime. Yes, that's a good book. Nickel and Dime is a great book. If my mama don't come on up out of there, taking all night now, she better come on. Goodness. Okay. Had to read it in college. You can't fit those folks. Okay. I work in shelter, and most of my clients are under 21 and pregnant. See, listen. I'm not gonna front like people under 21 aren't fertile. Okay, they aren't fertile and they aren't getting knocked up. Where is my mama? She better come on now. She doing too much. But you know, people know how people get pregnant. They playing that stupid game. Tall and handsome math professor is actually 6'2". White women always mention my height. Yeah, I'm 6'4", and I look like a black Captain America. I do not have kids. Can't afford them. Totally irresponsible. They want DNA and attention. Damn, that's messed up. He's technically a sociopath. He wants no responsibility and doesn't care for anyone. A classy guy. Yeah, I would almost agree with that because, like, the ladies that are even suing him, I'm like, what do they think they're gonna get? He's made it so that they don't have to do that. Is it worth moving to California? If you got a tech degree, sure. Are you talking about? Ew, gross. Okay, Lando, take the technical writing class. Good, take it. What are you doing in the car? I'm waiting on my mama to come out, but she act like she in the building hiding or something or talking to people. You know how people, old people be in there talking. They really do. Statistics don't lie. They really don't. I'm gonna park by this window and look in there. Y'all, hold on. Because I know she see me out here. This don't even make no sense. Hold on, let me call her. All right, y'all, I gotta get off here because my mama is hard-headed. Because I just don't even know why she ain't even out. But anyways, you guys, I just had to do that. That was weird Monday stories. But he's giving his women his DNA. Yeah, he don't have to. They're not gonna get no money. All right, you guys. Anyways, that's just Wild Money Monday.